any position you prefer. Baddha Konasana. Your weights, yeah, we're going to, like I was explaining while you're away, is we are doing a drill, Sculpt. So we'll do our yoga Sculpt drill, and then we'll stretch in a position and then go to the next one, stretch. So before we start that, we're going to be on our back actually. So Shavasana, Baddha Konasana, or constructive rest. Just depending how your body feels this morning. And just take these few moments to settle, palms over your head. And let your body, especially your back body, be heavy here. Just taking a few moments of quiet, maybe releasing through an exhale with a sigh. And then allowing all the negativity, anything that doesn't serve you here on your mat as we work our body. And then close up your mouth and then start breathing in and out through your nostrils. As you inhale, feel your belly rising as you press down through your sacrum. And then exhale, let the front body force and your back body be heavy. So let's start warming up in towards our joints. Let's lift up our legs towards the ceiling. Give your arms, wrists, your ankles a nice movement here. Maybe flicking your fingers, roll out your ankles, give your legs a nice shake. Before bending the knees, placing your feet down about hips width. Feet close towards your glutes, palms by the side of your hips. So let's start moving in towards the glutes here, warming up in towards our joints. Let's inhale, lifting up for your first bridge. Keeping your thighs parallel, and then exhale, gently release all the way down. 2 more times like this, and then after that we'll add our arms. So we're going to warm up without the weights first, and then we're going to add them after this. Last time, inhale, lift up the hips, maybe slightly higher. Puff up the chest. And then exhale, gently release vertebrae by vertebrae till the sacrum reaches down. This time, 3 rounds, you're going to lift up, timing your arms over your head as you lift up your hips. And then the back of your palms touching the top above your head. And then exhale, gently lower the arms, lower the hips. 2 more times like this. Inhale, activate in towards your glutes, puff up your chest, palms reaches over your head. Exhale, gently release all the way down, sacrum touch, palms touch. Last time, this time, inhale, lifting all the way up. Holding here just for a breath, pressing down on the shoulder blades, lifting up through the hips. And then exhale, release, nice and slow. Once you touch down, walk your feet mat width, and let's windshield wiper side to side. Move your arms to a T. And then as you return over to the right side, let's twist, looking over your left. Maybe lift up the foot to place it outside the left if your body calls for it. If you want to go deeper this early, feel the nice stretch off to the left side. Gently release the foot if you got it. Inhale, knees back to center. Exhale, drop the knees over to the left. Look towards the right. Again, staying here, or foot on the outer right knee to go deeper. Internally rotate that right hip here. And then gently release the foot if you got it. And then inhale, bring the knees back to center. Hug them in and give your lower back a nice roll and massage here. Massage out the lower back. And then let's bring the arms behind the thighs. Let's rock and roll about 2 to 3 rounds. And then we'll meet at the top of the mat in a Navasana. So how many times if you wish to roll your back, and then once you reach, you can still hold on to the back of your thighs, or you can release your arm for your boat pose. Energizing the core straight away here for 3, 2, I like the smile on your face, and let's cross your ankles, come out to tabletop. Stack your joints and let's move through a few cat-cow. Notice how the spine feels here. Maybe rock side to side if you want to add in towards the side body, the hips. And then maybe even adding hip rolls here if you want to warm up the wrists at the same time. Take your shoulders past your wrists. Waking up the wrists here a few times, so you can add any movement here that feels good. Maybe barrel rolls instead of taking the hips back, whichever that feels good. Come back through center once you finish your last round here. Come back to stack as you move your left knee in the center. Inhale, kick the right leg behind you. Exhale, let's squeeze it in, forehead to knee. And then let's cross the knee in front of the left, coming in towards sort of a Gomukhasana leg. And then we're going to shift our hips back and forward, opening out in towards the right outer hip. Shifting forward, maybe all the way back. Feel a nice stretch to the lower back, back forward. And then coming back to neutral, maybe feel around with a few cat-cow, noticing how that right hip feels. So we are sort of changing up. Yesterday we have our legs crossed in that figure 4. Today we have it in our Gomukhasana here. Now coming back to neutral, wing the left leg straight behind you, extend your right leg out long. And then exhale, let's take it over to the right side. So shift your knee back underneath your hips. Inhale, let's lift the left arm up, thread the needle, so thread over, left shoulder down, reach the left palm over to the right foot, breathe, stack your right wrist under your right elbow, and then twist into it, feeling how it feels here. Nice deep breath. If you want to half bind, please do. If not, you can always stick the arm above the head or keep it exactly where it is. So wherever you are, so we're going to activate in towards the right leg. We're going to swing it all the way back, making sure controlling, don't go all the way to the left, or not you will roll over. So press into the left forearm, kick the right leg back behind you, and then let's release the right hand, bend the knee, see if you can catch the foot coming in towards a quad stretch. So if you can't reach the foot, you can actively reach, bending the knee, reaching the right hand towards the foot, even if there's no contact. You should feel your right hamstring firing up there. Roll the right shoulder back, balancing here. And then slowly on your next exhale, you're going to release the foot, place it back where it was. Inhale, press down through the arm as you come up in towards gate pose. So a big, nice warm up before we add our weights here. Let's stretch over in towards your modified side plank. Open up the side body here. Maybe give a pump here, elbow to knee, kick it out. So let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, coming up towards your gate, activating your obliques. Sink down, reach through your side plank. Exhale, bend the elbow to knee, kick it out. Inhale, use your obliques, coming for your last round. Moving with your breath. Land, reach, extend. Pump and kick, and then inhale, coming back all the way up here, and then exhale, bring your palms down, maybe move through a cat-cow to release out the tension in the right side here. And then let's swing the right leg back behind you, bend the knee, place it back next to the left, so all now on the left side. So maybe shift the right knee in towards the center. Inhale, kick the left leg out. Exhale, bend the knee in, squeeze it towards your forehead before making the space to cross it in front of your right knee. Open up the legs and then shift your weights back and forth. Notice how it feels on this left side. So maybe 2 or 3 times. And then come back forward and then Make your way through a few rounds of cat-cow here. Notice the difference versus the normal cat-cow. Maybe you feel in towards the hips, maybe the lower back. Before coming back to neutral here. And then you're going to release that leg here. So re-straighten the right leg behind you. Kick the left leg out. Before swinging, opening to the left, coming in towards your gate pose. Before that, thread the needle. So press into your left palm. Inhale. Right arm comes up, exhale, thread it through, work it towards the left side as you sink your body down. Keep your hand where it is, whichever feels good. Half bind, taking a few breaths here, and then remember we're going to do that sort of a bent knee, stretch into the quad, working in towards the hamstring, so preparing mentally, making sure you're stacked and not overly on the right side as you swing the left leg back. On your next inhale, press into the arm, press into the shoulder, lift up through the left leg, weight on towards your right knee as you swing, and I'm going to fall. So, teacher fell, I'm coming back, and then you can bend the knee, reach for the foot. So I demoed that quite well. I fell over, and I'm back. Nice deep breath here. So feel that hamstring, feel that quad stretch here. And then slowly you're going to release the foot, kick it back out. And then you're going to come up. So remember to place the foot down. You can use your palm or you can press it all the way up in towards your gate pose. So somehow my right side feels really weak today. That's what I felt. So gate pose in towards our side plank. So laugh it off, it happens. I've got my off time, off day. Kick into the elbow, knee, lift back up in towards gate pose. Come back, stretch and open into the side body. Exhale, pump it in. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale one last time, down into your side plank. And then knee to elbow. And then once you return back up to center, lower your palms down. And then come back in towards this gate position to feel up and move in towards your cat-cow. So it will feel good in that spine here. And then slowly you're going to increase your strength, pressing down, lift up the left leg, bending the knee in, replace it back right next towards your right knee. So breathing here nice and deep, walk your palms forward, getting ready, we'll come up into downward facing dog. Once you're in downward dog, pad out your legs, noticing how it feels here. And then we'll warm up in the front of the mat for some half sun salutation to warm up the rest of the spine. So let's bend the knees, stepping forward. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, rising all the way up to stand, coming into Samastitihi, hands in front of your chest in prayer. As you close your eyes down, notice how the body is as we get ready for our yoga sculpt drill. So it's going to be a yoga sculpt and stretch. So breathing here nice and deep. Let's warm up the rest of the body before we add the weight. So let's inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, rising back all the way up. Exhale, sink all the way back down in towards your forward fold. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, we fold one last time. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, back towards your forward fold. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. On your next inhale, pick up your weights. Let's roll all the way back up to stand as we begin our yoga sculpt. Let's walk the feet nice and wide, so straight in towards our hips. You can, of course, do all the exercise without the weights. You can still get a nice sculpt session out of it. Make sure knees pointing where your feet is. Hands can hand out, or you can put it close to your chest. Whatever it will change sort of the weight, how it feels. You can try it out, but mainly here we're going to sink in towards as low as you can. So maybe now you're here, doesn't matter. Push yourself all the way up. So you can do a bicep curl as you sink. So maybe coming all the way down, pushing up. So you can add the arms, whatever works for you. So there's no right or wrong for the arm. So like I'm going to do my bicep curl into the hips. You could feel that. You're going to feel it tomorrow. So we're going to time that. That is about 45 seconds to a 60-second drill. And then after that, we'll sink all the way down and hold in Malasana to stretch in towards the muscle that's with work. So hopefully, while I'm talking, you don't feel the time passing. I'm just waiting for the clock to move 1 minute, and then we can stop. Breathing here, so your breath nice and steady. Taking care, bending the knee, making the knee is behind your toes as you come all the way down. Probably about last 3 here. Control your breath, feel the heart rate rising, and then we'll slow it down with a stretch here. Last 1. And this time on your last one, as you sink all the way down, shift into the position that feels comfortable for you. You can keep holding on to your weights, or you can release it down, close your eyes, press into your prayer. Let the heart rate come back down. So we have a burst of 60, slow for 45 seconds, and then burst of 60. So take your breath, and then we'll come up again to stand for the next drill. Deep breath in, come back to center yourself, feel the feet on the mat, feel the heat rising in those hips, those thighs. Last breath here. And then slowly you're going to blink your eyes open, pick up your weights, come up to stand. Take your feet mat swift, and then we'll do the side body. So same thing, 60 seconds. Lift up, sink, bring the weights overhead, sink over to the opposite side. So again, 60 seconds. So you can go fast, you can hang down slow. So all a matter of preference. And then we'll do the next set again. So here, again, after that, when we stretch, we're going to hold rather than continue moving for 60 seconds so that we can work deeper in towards the stretch. Keep your breath nice and steady, so no rushing. So you can only hear the sound of your breath. So of course, if you do practice Ujjayi, you can use your Ujjayi breathing, or we call it the Darth Vader breath, where you inhale, and as you exhale, it's really audible. So you close up the back of your throat. It's like you're trying to breathe into a mirror. So last one on the left, and then we'll come back on the right to hold. So let's slide the right arm down, sink over to the opposite side. So it's about 20 seconds here. And then we'll count down from 10. So keep your breath nice and steady. Hips to the left for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center, over to the other side. Feel the shoulder burning there. Hips over, again about 20 seconds, holding, slowing down the heart rate a bit. And then we'll count again from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back up, and then exhale. Let's release the back in towards your forward fold. So you can bend your knees a lot. Nice deep breath here. And then from here, we'll be really nicely coming into chair, so you can walk your feet toes in touching, or you can keep them hips width. And then let's bend the knees, come up in towards chair pose. So here it's up to you whether you want to work on your tricep, or you can fly in towards your tricep, front for bicep, back for tricep. So you can always pump, and then heels up, pump into your tricep crunch, in towards your bicep curl, crunch up. So again, we have 60 seconds here. Work into that thighs, those toes, your biceps, your triceps. Breathing here. Halfway there, feel the burn in those thighs. Whew. Keep your breath nice and steady, even though it's like, oh. Last 3. And then we'll come in towards a fold. So let's straighten up first. Oh, feel those legs. Give it a nice shake. And then come down in towards a forward fold. So you can bend one knee, then the other, just releasing into that stretch. Feel those thighs working or work just now. And then we'll start adding movement to it. And then we have like a warrior flow. Not a flow, but a drill per se. So about 15 seconds more here. Maybe pad out the legs, release any tension, maybe your head. Shake, yes, no. Last breath here. And then slowly on your inhale, rise all the way back up to stand. So the next one you can watch first. Starting with the right leg, bring it in. Arms against, up to you. You can hold it to your chest. You're going to step it back in towards a lunge. So you can do this, you can bicep curl. As you come up, punch it over your head. So legs comes in. So come down, you can turn the wheel, or not the wheel, the weights this way if you want to. Step into a lunge, kick back and up. Of course, you can add more if you wish. As you come back, kick the leg up, squeeze it in. So that's an extra work for your hip flexors, up to you. So we're going to do 60 seconds here. Come up. Keep your breath nice and easy. Kick it back. So it's up to you if you want to add the legs too. Maybe in between or every other one. So the more you bend back, the more of the stretch also. Working in towards the legs. Could feel it in the left hip too as you kick back and up. And the weights, last 3. And then we're going to come down in towards lizard here. So on your last one, step back in towards your lunge. Land your hands on the inside and walk the legs over and lower that right knee. You should feel it in that hip here. So hold here about 45 seconds again. Place your weights down on your palms, on your elbows. So beware here, we are nice and warm off that lunge, stepping up. So take your breath here, maybe roll it around. Come back to centering, grounding, and feel those legs. Last 15 seconds. And then that's when you wonder why the 60 seconds feels super long and our stretch feels super short. One more breath here, then we step back towards the front and going over to the left side. So let's tuck the toes, step it forward. Pick up your weight while you make it back towards the front and come up to stand. So same thing if you're done on the right, you know where you're going on the left. Pick up the heel, arms comes up, kick back. You can change the arms now, maybe change the way you work your weights. Instead of turning forward, you can turn the weights forward. Anyway, you're working your shoulders with the weights, extra weight weighing down. So yoga is already a body weight. So when we add the weight, it gives ourselves a more challenge. It strengthens our joints, our bones, our muscles, and also our stamina. So you can bend deep or don't go too deep. Feel the nice stretch on the hip flexor as you step back. Feel the right hip really working here. Whew. About last 5 here. And then same thing, we'll end up in lizard pose. Last 2. And then we all meet in lizard pose. So on your last one, lower your hands down, lower the knees down, scoot the right leg over, place your weights to one side, and just enjoy this 45 minutes, or not minutes, wish 45 seconds of stretch. Breathing here. So again, you don't have to go too low. Breathe in towards the hips, that's work hard. And then we'll come up back to do our warrior sequence, working deeper, arms, legs, hips. And then depending on time, we still got good time. We're going to add one or two more before we come down towards the ground to still using the weights here. So let's tuck the toes, step back towards the front of the mat. And we'll start our warrior flow. So we're still going to use our weights. So let's do a nice big step with the left foot coming into a warrior two stance. So right foot turning forward, left foot again, it can be parallel or slide in again depending on your hips. Bending into your right knee, arms goes up. So you can either turn it up or down, it's up to you. Breathe here into warrior two. You're going to go forward in towards your reverse warrior. Come forward for your side angle, punch it over. Lifting back up, punch it up in towards your warrior two. That's when you straighten out the leg, arms over your head. So that's your whole sequence. So do however many times you can here in your 60 seconds. So we're going to start. Bend, warrior two. Reverse your warrior in towards your side angle. Come up to punch it out back in towards warrior two. Then straighten out your right knee. Lift up your arms. And then return. That's your whole sequence. So in your own time, coming into sort of a meditative sculpt, if there's ever such a thing. Just breathe here, going through your sequence. You can move fast, or you can enjoy the hold a bit longer, feeling the weight. So it's a yoga sculpt. Last 10 seconds here. If you mix up the sequence, make up your own. So probably about the last one. And then once you finish your last one, you're going to bend into your right knee. We're going to hold here without your weight. So it's up to you if you want to hold in any of the position here. Warrior two. You can come into not baby, side angle. We won't do reverse warrior because usually reverse is a transition. So you're going to take your weights down here. If you choose to stay in side angle, you can come into half bind to release the shoulders as we stretch in towards the right hip here. Okay? You can even hold in warrior two if you prefer. If you want to challenge yourself, hold with the weights. You're holding, you're breathing, maintaining your posture here. Roll out the left shoulder. 15 seconds more. And then we'll go over to the left side. Feel that stretch in towards the right hip. And if you want, we can transition through a downward dog to release out the spine, and then we can step in towards warrior two. So let's circle the arms down, step back in towards a downward dog. Pad out your legs. Notice how the right leg feels stronger, maybe. And then let's step the left foot forward. Pick up your weights. And then come up in towards your warrior two. Wipe off the sweat. And here we go. 60 seconds. In towards your warrior two. Going in towards your reverse warrior. Just a reminder. Side angle. Pull up on your obliques. Punch it up for your warrior two. Straighten out your legs. And then back in towards warrior two. So in your own. So if you're like me who makes up going into side angle before reverse your warrior, doesn't matter. You're still doing the whole sequence here. Keep to your breath. Move fast or slow, it's up to you. Last 10 seconds. Probably you can squeeze in one more set here, or two, depending on your speed. And then you can choose again here whether you want to hold inside angle or warrior two. So I'm going to lift my weights down and then come into the half bind version as we stretch in towards the left hip here. Roll the right shoulder back. Suddenly today my mat is really slippery. Slow your breath down. And then we'll step back into downward dog again, and then we'll do the next drill. So we have two more before we come on to the lower level, enough of standing poses. So let's circle the arm down, frame your left foot, step back, downward facing dog. Now notice how the both legs feel, stretch out that spine. Roll out your neck, shake yes, no. And then this time we're going to step our right foot forward, spinning in towards a warrior two stance. Or actually, no, let's low lunge, so we're going to work in towards the shoulders. So right arm's going to come down in towards sort of like an easy twist. Left heel is up. Let's open and swing through. Up and swing through. So you can always release the weights here. We're just working in towards the shoulders, in towards sort of an open hip flexor here. Just taking it diagonally to stretch out the left arm. Working to the outside of the arm, so you should feel as you cross, and you feel the hip as you cross over. Last 30 seconds here. So maybe you're like me, really tight. I hate this pose here because I can't really open up. But I can feel it in my shoulder and hopefully in towards the hips. Last 3. You can of course have a block under the right palm. And then you're going to release the weight here, come into modified pyramid, release that right hip here. Oh, I really don't like that because my shoulder is so tight. Crisscrossing open and crisscrossing doesn't feel that good. But it works to the outside of the arm here. Last 15 seconds, breathe and maybe 4 to release into that tired right hip. And then we're going to step back into downward dog and come back to that. And then we come into our favorite goddess set. And we will do in towards the inner thigh. So now slowly frame your right foot, step back in towards downward facing dog. Paired out the legs. And then we're going to step the left foot forward in towards a lunge position. So again, left hand can stay down on the left side. Pick up your weights here. And then you're going to open up. And then swing it through. Reach as far as you can. Open. And swing it through. Stay with your breath. So it's like half thread the noodle. Not the noodle, the needle. And just breathe through that shoulder here. Keep the legs strong. Mine is trembling and wobbling at the moment. Last 30 seconds. And that's when the minute feels super long. 10 more minutes, ladies, and then we can have a nice, proper stretch. Last 3. And then place your weights down. Oh, let's straighten out the left leg, scoot the right leg in. And fold over the left leg and feel the release in that left hip that's been working and holding you there. Shake out your head, yes, no. And this time, we're not going to go into downward dog. We're going to come out straight to stand so that we can come into our wide-legged stance. 3 more breaths here. Release in towards the stretch. And then let's slowly bend into the knee, step the right foot forward, pick up your weights, and then slowly roll up to stand. Wipe out all the sweat, and let's take a wide step out towards the length of your mat. Heels in, toes up. We're getting to our favorite goddess pose. So let's bend the knee, sink, and make sure you open out your elbows to the front here. And then on your inhale, as you straighten, punch it over your head, come down to meet. So we've not done this for a while here. My legs are all wobbly from the previous poses. So I'm looking forward to the proper stretch and hold. Keep breathing. Maybe if you still got strength in you to really get the hips down low. I'm really feeling it because we did sort of like the low malasana chair crunch. So my thighs are burning. Last 30 seconds. Arm starts to burn. Looking at the clock, and it is not moving. Last 3. Last 1. And then we're going to come in towards a wide-legged forward fold. Let's release your weights. Hands can come down. Maybe you can add some movement here. Twist to release the back. It's up to you here. Nice deep breath. So we've got a few more towards the front for our no more standing poses, but we've still got some sculpting to do, unfortunately. So shake out your head. Yes, no. Last 10 seconds. And then slowly inhale for your halfway lift. Take your weights and let's spin towards the front of the mat. Step back in towards a child's pose. So knees nice and wide, toes together. Let's stretch it out. And then we'll come up to do a few more sculpt, and then we'll stretch, I promise. So land down, come, and just let the legs rest. Maybe you feel it in the thigh, the burn, the hips, the calf, the bottom of the feet. And then this is the one that will kill me. So we're not using the weights, we're just sculpting now. Work some core, and then we'll enjoy the stretch in between after this. So let's inhale, come up. We're going to come out in towards your plank, so not my favorite. And we're going to do the crunch. So as you hold in plank, starting with the right leg, you're going to squeeze it in into center, tap the right elbow, tap the left elbow, kick back, come back. So 60 seconds, no, actually 45 seconds of this, because if you do this for 60 seconds, you're going to collapse halfway. Whew. And then we're going to come into pigeon after this, I promise. And you're going to enjoy that right hip, that right leg. Releasing. Breathe, really press down, don't let your hip drop. Last 2. And once you finish your last one, come and rest in pigeon. Oh, land down. Yes, I know. It is a sculpt. So we have about 30-45 seconds on the left side, and we'll pigeon on the left. So enjoy while you're here. Pigeon, any variation, or you just want to get your forehead down and get your breath back. Whew. So slow down your breath. Slow down your heart rate, which should probably spike there. And then we'll come back to that plank
working your core. So remember, as you get tired, rather than moving, you can hold in plank and then take that time to suck your belly to spine, lift up through that lower back. Don't let the lower back sink because you're going to cause a strain in that lower back. So if you're struggling, especially towards the end, stay in plank and suck that belly to spine, engage the core, protract through your shoulder, push it up, round that back. 2 more breaths here, and then we'll come up back to that plank position. Now slowly and reluctantly, we're going to all come back in towards that plank. So maybe shift in towards the tabletop to prepare mentally. I'm not ready for this. So make sure fingers are wide, shoulders above your wrists. Let's step back in towards your plank. Suck the belly to spine, round that back, and let's start. Starting is always great. After that, you just get hell and hellish after. So come back to your breath. Breathe. If you get tired, suck your belly in again, then start again. Last 3. And then we come in to a well-deserved pigeon. I know, what are we doing to ourselves? Just for the extra slice of cake. For me, you have to take more than a slice of cake. So rest here, get your breath back down. Breathe and feel that nice stretch and that hip flexor, the left hip. So again, remember not to go too deep because we're so warm right after. Just enjoy being here, feeling the nice release in towards the tired muscles. Feel your breath slow back down as we move to another stretch here before we come into a last sort of a sculpt before a nice long time on our back before Shavasana. So sorry ladies, a little bit more working in towards the core. Now slowly as you inhale, coming all the way back up, let's shift over to your side and let's open up in towards a wide-legged forward 4. So coming back to our weights, I'll sculpt here and then we'll come onto our back. So my right hip just went in towards a spasm there. So we're going to take out our weight, so working into the side body here. So you know the drill, we've done this before, but we'll add the side, deep front, all 3 sets, and then after that we're going to hold. So punching over, oh my obliques, over to the other side, bring it back to center and fall forward, lift up. So in your own time, 60 seconds here. So a bit slower than the plank, obviously the heart rate much better. So we're enjoying the extra weight here to get into our side body. So we have 3 stretches after this. So the revolve side stretch and the wide-legged forward 4. Just to release on all those working hard, stretching in towards the side body here. Move with your breath. If you want, you can always hold a bit more to really get into the obliques here. Oh, and then lean and enjoy the 4. Keep your breath nice and steady. And of course, after that, you can use the weights for your fall. Or if it tends to be more flexible, then I would say don't do it with the weights because you're already flexible. Those who need a little bit of help, you can always add in the weights. So let's finish your last set together. And then we'll finish off in the revolve side stretch over to either side, whichever side you prefer. So once you're ready, you can lower your weights back down and then revolve side stretch whichever direction. So I'm going to start folding over to the right side so the arm can reach out, and then you can hold here. So again, go deep or not. Again, depend on how your own body, how it feels. So I'm going to stay sort of midway up because I can really feel the obliques, and it's like, oh, it needs that stretch to release. Again, it will be about 40-45 seconds here, and then we'll go over to the left side. So sort of slowly winding down, still with an element of sculpt, but not as intense as before. So let's inhale, slowly rise all the way back up, and then over to the opposite side. Feel the nice release. Still flexing in towards the feet, thighs are engaged. You're pushing the kneecap down. And just notice the difference in the side here, and then we're going to release in towards our forward fold. Last 2 breaths here. And then slowly on your next inhale, rising all the way back up, straighten out your spine again before slowly walking forward in towards your wide-legged forward fold. Release into it and feel the release, that lower back, the inner thighs. And then notice the difference again. Maybe you can fold deeper because again we are really warm. And then always take a little step back, not to overdo it. And you're going to overstretch yourself. And still keeping your spine flat. And then we'll do one last bit of sculpt, and then we'll do some yummy sort of a twist and a hip opener on our backs. And that's it. No more, but we'll sculpt almost towards the end. Last 3 breaths here. So feel your body starts to cool down, the sweat evaporating, it's feeling good. You've worked hard. Now slowly on your inhale, rising back up. You can move the weights away. We're not needing it anymore. Let's bring the thighs together. Give yourself a hug here. And then slowly make your way onto your back here. And then we'll do some what is it called? Core work first before we do our final cool down. So come onto your back. And here you have a choice. So either 90 legs here, arms comes to a T. We're going to let the knees drop over before it touches down. Bring it back up. Once you bring it back up, really press down your sacrum here, over to the other side. So again, 60 seconds. You can increase intensity with the legs up and let it drop over. Come back. So that will be more intense. So maybe you can do a few here and there to increase your intensity. Taking care of your lower back, you're actually giving your lower back a nice massage. So straight legs, semi-bent legs, or bent legs, doesn't matter. So about 60 seconds here, really use your core, suck that belly to spine. And then again, if it's too much for straight legs, if you're feeling it on your lower back, then do the bent knee from side to side. Last 20 seconds here, really press down through your shoulder blades, press down to your palm so that you're moving from your waist down and you feel your core engaging your hip flexor here. Last set. on each side. And then we'll come into a spinal twist, just nice here. So let's land the knees over to the right. You can keep it straight or bent. And the right hand can come on top of the knee, plant down through your left shoulder blade. Come back to your breath. That's it. No more sculpt. That was just the last one, I promise. So enjoy this twist for a wee while longer than we usually is 45 seconds. And it's up to you whether you want to keep the knees and thighs stacked, or you can cross the left leg under the right for a deeper twist to release out anything. Maybe it feels better to go deeper, or you can just stay exactly where you are. So nothing else more to scrub. Enjoy this last few minutes of your hard work. And slow down your breath and let your body cool. And also feel the effect of your hard work. And take this time to sort of consolidate and absorb your practice. Now slowly, if you've got your legs crossed, uncross them. Place your palms down and inhale, bring the knees back to center and then drop it over to the left. Enjoy the twist on this side, pressing down through the right shoulder blade. And again, you can keep the thighs stacked, or you can cross the right leg under the left for sort of like a Gomukhasana, spinal twist if you really want to get in towards the lower back. Really feel your whole body cooling down, you're relaxing, releasing this last bit of tension. And just enjoy all your hard work. A few more breaths here. Now slowly uncross. You've got your legs crossed. Bring your legs back through center. Give yourself a nice hug. And then let's unbend the knees of semi and then take your arms under and then just press down through your knees. So your calves or your forearm is between your calves and your thighs. You can interlock your finger, give it a squeeze just to release the tension on the arm when we're doing our plank. And then really flex into it. And then slowly release back to where we started, legs up towards the sky. Give everything a nice shake out. Release any last tension. Rock the wrists, the ankles, flex and point. And then come into stillness in this simple legs up the wall. So make sure the sacrum is pressing down. Legs is relaxed. You can have a tiny bend on the legs, on the knees. And just let reverse the blood flow here from those tired legs. So maybe you still have a little bit of wobbly, trembling in those tired legs. That just means that you worked hard. Nice deep breath here. Now slowly bend the knees in, catch the outside of your feet coming into your happy baby. Really squeezing the thighs in towards the outer ribs here. And then maybe rock and roll side to side, massaging out that lower back. And like yesterday, maybe straighten one leg. Keep the other in a happy baby if it feels good for those inner thigh. And then same thing, bend the opposite, straighten the other one. And continue to massage out the lower back. And if you wish, straighten both out together. And just notice how the legs feel, how the hamstring, the inner thigh.
And then slowly come back into your full happy baby for your last few breaths here. And we'll take a well-deserved Shavasana. Now slowly release, take up space on your mat. You're going to stay here for about 2 minutes to really allow yourself to regroup and really enjoy this Shavasana, especially after that intense yoga sculpt. So give you time. We are ahead of time, so we have plenty of time to rest here. So quiet mind, quiet time for yourself for Shavasana. So we are halfway through our Shavasana. And of course, if you wish to stay the full 2 minutes, please do so. If you're ready to get a move on, move out your ankles, your wrists, and give yourself a nice big stretch here. Feel the length in that body. And then slowly come into a fetal position to your favorite side, and taking this moment to honor your practice, your mat, your breath, and most importantly, yourself for showing up today. Let's inhale and press yourself up nice and gently in towards the front of the mat with your eyes closed. Interlock your finger and just roll out your wrists a few times here, both direction, and get up those clicks off the wrists. And then let's inhale, bring your arms over your head, gathering the good energy in towards prayer, bringing it back in towards your chest center and acknowledging yourself. And I thank you once again for your patience and for showing up with me and allowing me to practice with you. Namaste.